Hey ladies and gents, it's Sam again, and we're going to talk about the new bot behavior and some interesting things I've noticed. I'm actually going to bring you this game in an F4. I don't know why. I was going to do a review on this plane, then I remembered why it sucked ass. Um, I just, got these low American, especially in this line, because it doesn't get any better when you get to the P-47s. It's just slow and fat and not much for firepower. Um, Now, if you haven't been up on the latest news, they kind of tweaked the bots. They are much more erratic. They don't go where they used to. In the last bot video I did months ago, when I first started trying to figure out how bots operated, now the bots are, and if you'll notice the spread here when they take off, they're kind of all over the place. They kind of do what they want. Before we only had certain bots go here, certain bots go there, and now it's a little bit more, obviously, like I said, a little bit more erratic. They kind of, and I'm not sure. I'm going to have to spend more time in the training rooms and going over it and looking at, where they're going to go. I mean, before they used to have, if there was a bomber, they would probably head to the mining facility along with the GAs, but now we got the bomber going to the command center. Heavy bombers are moving over here, and I got two fighters with me, which typically usually were multi-roles, not light fighters, multi-roles. But like I said, that's all, with the whole oddness, I guess maybe that's the new way of how these bots. They're also way more aggressive. They seem like, especially when you get to the higher tiers, they don't turn away like they used to if you go head on with them. They seem a little bit more accurate, that kind of thing. And they're much more persistent, right? When they get on your tail, they don't simply wander off. They will stick with you until they kill you. So it's all something to think about with these planes. If you're not, or with these new bots, I'm not sure if they up the general I don't know how you put it. Before you would have beginner bots, warrior bots, and veteran bots. I think you're probably going to see more warrior bots than you used to before. That was actually majority of that right there came from a bot that got on my tail, and he's still on my tail. Before they would kind of, once they made a pass at you, they would kind of turn off a little bit sometimes, and sometimes they wouldn't even bother even coming after you. Now you see them on your tail harder. They seem to be a little more accurate and all that kind of stuff. Same way with the bots. So now that bomber bot that was down here with us had died, and now he had actually went back over to the mining facility. Normally, if this was the usual bot system, he would have kept coming to the same spot over and over again. And also, what you're going to see too is here with these command centers up. Bombers never used to go to a facility that was not red or blue. Now you see here our bomber squadron up to the north here. See, they're moving. Is actually heading to a facility that's not been taken. Another mining facility has not been taken, and it's actually headed that way. It's not headed to one of the red objective points. You used to be able with the missile bases, yeah, they used to fire missiles at a neutral objective, but never with the bombers. The bombers always would wait until there was a red objective before they would start flying. Now it seems like that's changed. And like I said, of course, this has just been my observation. If you guys have seen something different, let me know. I haven't really had a whole lot of chance to actually take a look at, getting into a training room, which I think I'm going to do, because I actually mentioned that, getting into a training room with the bots again, and find out if there's any sort of pattern in how they work. Get knocked out by the bullfighter, and like I said, you can see right there, you see the bombers heading over to that neutral facility. Normally they would have taken either the airbase or the either that airbase or the command center. That's what they would have bombed first. And now you see the bombers going to the white objective. We of course turned the command center first. They didn't have any objectives taken. Normally the bombers would have waited till one of the objectives turns red and then they would have gone. But in this situation, they immediately went to the objective that was available. You can see in that northern spawn, you'll see a bunch of blues and reds right there. Their IL-2 bot was very good. He actually took a couple objectives from us just by himself. Normally bots left by themselves don't really seem to get anything done. You know, that once again, that was kind of the old bot system. You actually had to go with them, otherwise they would take forever to turn an objective. These bots, not so much. You can let them kind of wander off, and they do a pretty nice damn job of taking out themselves. So, pulling in here on the bot bombers. Yeah, it's always one of those deals. You know, you got to do it or nobody else is going to do it. So pull in here. Got the bomber out in front of me. I'm going to pull off some horse shit right here if you've ever seen this before. Rocketeers are one of those it's kind of a hard thing to hit a target with a rockets that are designed for ground targets. But at this distance, yeah, it's possible. So knock out 2 bombers. Can't quite get the other ones before they drop their bombs. Yeah, it's one of those deals. I have noticed though, and this has always been a problem in this game. I don't know why they allow it. The number of bots that crash. We lost that mining objective to the north because of bots. 2 bots that actually ended up crashing into the ground. You know that they were just. I didn't get it. That shouldn't be part of the game, where the objectives are turned because your boss decide that they're just gonna, you know, run into the fucking ground. And if you've played the game, and most of you, the viewers, have watched the games, there's a large tendency for a bot that's been over objective for a certain amount of time just to nosedive into the ground, especially if it's very close to being turned by the enemy team. You know, maybe once again, my observation, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. There's also seems to be a little bit of evidence, I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, that the bots seem to get better in the first part of the game, and then they kind of level off. You know, you see some of these impressive combat scores with the bots early in the game. That Spitfire one, Henry, for example, had a higher combat score than I did at the very first part of the game. For a good 4 or 5 minutes, had a higher combat score than I did, and then all of a sudden he just starts making bad mistakes and dying. I'm not terribly sure if that's you know, has to do with the program, or you know, I don't get it. Bots have always been kind of a difficult thing in this game to figure out, and I'm just asking. Essentially, what I'm making this video is just kind of asking if anybody else has noticed anything, so we can kind of maybe get a grip on how the bots are behaving. You know, so I'm probably gonna do another video on this, on the bot behavior and what they're doing here. F4F. Oh God, it's such a whale. I mean, it shouldn't even be called a plane. It should be called a whale with wings. They don't turn very well and whatnot. That Spitfire one, of course, is Roderick. He's a dickhead. He dies just about all the time. Every game I play with Roderick, he's just like, oh, why can't I get Henry? You know, bots. So we're looking pretty good right here. They've flipped 2 objectives. This one objective over here, they've come all the way across the map to flip it. Why? Because they had a legitimately good IL-2 bomber or attack plane that was able to do it. However, I don't have that luxury. My ground attack planes were pretty much shit. But you know, what are you gonna do? Once again, if you guys have seen anything, post it down in the comments below. Let's try to see if we can get a video together of how this new changes in bots and this new patch, you know, and get an idea if there's any sort of pattern to what their madness is here. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to win it. I'm too far away from anything. There's the there's the bomber down to the south. He's the last one I got to kill, but I'm so far away, I can't make it in time, especially since they already have 2 objectives, and the mining, both my mining facilities. So I'm trying to get up here and see if I can actually get a little bit more damage before they flip it, and whatnot. So with that said, I'm going to turn here and do a little bit of reasoning behind what they did. And I ended up with a decent combat score out of an F4F. Not, like, obviously, I said it's not the best. I mean, this isn't a freaking Spitfire. But yeah, so if you've noticed anything with the bots, I mean, to me, they seem like they've been more aggressive. There's a lot more ramming going on, and that stuff. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I'm really tempted. I'm going to start jumping back into training rooms again and going over the mechanics and see if we can find out some sort of reasoning behind the way they act, how they do it, or if they've just completely set these things on random, and you're going to get even more frustrated because now they've completely lost any sort of predictability. We will see, though. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, and good night.